This is the NFL Play Football Podcast, and I'm Jeff Fisher of High School Football America. The NFL celebrates youth and high school football year-round through camps, activities, NFL flag, and tackle leagues. The Play Football Initiative provides a fun and engaging experience for players of all ages and skill levels, equipping young people with key life skills that are building blocks to success on and off the field. Hey everyone, it's Jeff Fisher of High School Football America, and I love this time of year. It's time to start saluting the high school coaches around the country that are being honored by the 32 NFL teams as their Coaches of the Year. And we start the journey this year in Knoxville, Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans over the weekend honoring Knoxville West High School coach Lamar Brown as the 2022 Coach of the Year, presented by Whataburger. And Coach is on the line right now to talk about what was a very fun Sunday this past Sunday, as he was honored along with the other 10 winners this year by the Titans at Nissan Stadium. Thanks for taking the time, Coach.
Well, thank you for having me on, Jeff.
Yeah, and congratulations first. And we're going to get to that award a little bit later here, but I want to kind of set the stage for all the listeners around the country. You guys won the Class 5A championship. You're ranked number 93 in the High School Football America 300, which is powered by NFL Play Football, which means you had a pretty darn good season. But let's take it back a little bit. You've been there for 6 years. You win the championship this year. Tell me a little bit about the foundation that you set when you took over the Rebels. What were some of the things that maybe you did then that 6 years later results in a state championship in the state of Tennessee?
Well, when I got here, the program was just 2 years out from winning a state championship in 2014. But it was that they lost a coach during that time. Lost Scott Cummings. He had went to Cleveland High School, and that there's another coach that came in. And when I got here in 2016, the program didn't have a whole lot of direction. And the coaching staff bought in, the players bought in. We started laying the foundation in 2016 or 2017 was my first season, but you really saw it turn the corner probably in 2018. We went 4-7 and played a very tough schedule that year, and but Oak Ridge was ranked number 1 in the state when we played them, and with 5 minutes to go, we was up 14-10 and ended up getting beat. Played Knoxville Catholic that year in the first round of playoffs, and they won the state championship that year. And we led the whole game and got beat at the very end. We lost a lot of close games. We came in and installed our blueprint that the kids voted up on, and it's just stuff like relentless effort and having an uncommon commitment and a constant focus, and knowing you're part of something greater than yourself. And you saw that growth, and then in 2019 we made the state semifinals, and a lot of growth that year, a lot of young players, and this group just kind of really they bought in and really took it to a different level. I think we played one of the toughest schedules in the state this year, and I thought we had a team that could win the state championship, but I never dreamed we'd be 15-0.
Well, with that schedule along the way, you beat perennial power Alcoa. They just won their 8th straight, which is a state record, which beat their record of 7 straight earlier in this century. And you beat Maryville, another regular that's in our High School Football America 300. So it was a tough schedule. They say competition makes you a little bit better. I'm sure you always want to go 15-0, but I'm also assuming that schedule was created with the hopes that even if you got an L, it would toughen the kids up. Was that the idea behind your scheduling this year?
Well, it was. We played basically the same schedule last year also. This was the second year of the scheduling process, and we got Alcoa and Maryville on the schedule, knowing that they would expose every weakness that we had and give us a chance to get better. And it really helped us last year that we had some major injuries early in the season when we went into the Alcoa game. we were still trying to find their new identity at that time because of some of the players we'd lost. And Alcoa beat us in double overtime, and that proved to our kids that, hey, we can play with anybody. And then we go to Maryville in 21 and get beat 35-7 there, and our kids figured out there was something different about those guys, and we had to step up what we was doing in the off season and really not waste any day to be able to compete with them. And this year's Alcoa game was probably the time I really knew we had a special group of young men, because we was behind 4 different times in that ball game, and we answered the bell every time and made plays and fought back in it all 4 times. And then they was driving as time was expiring, and we had a big interception in the end zone, ended up winning the game by 3. I thought coming out of that game we had a chance to be a special group, and the Maryville game this year we won 31-18, and our kids played and fought really hard that game. And this has been a lot of people know we've got a lot of good football players, but they're even better young men.
And we're going to get to that in a second. You know, we're talking with Lamar Brown, the head coach at Knoxville West High School, the Tennessee Titans Coach of the Year. And Coach, I'm going to have you put on the ambassador hat for Tennessee high school football a little bit. Whenever I'm driving to Pennsylvania, I know how long that state is. It's a wide state. I think it's actually wider than Pennsylvania, which is pretty wide. But I bring that up because there's kind of 3 distinctive parts, like, right? You're kind of in the eastern part. You got Nashville in the middle and kind of the Memphis area down to the west there. Could you spell it out for people and tell people how good Tennessee high school football is right now? Because I know in our algorithm that ranks the teams statewide, you guys are continuing to climb each and every year over the last 10 years.
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head. The last 10 years, I really believe Tennessee high school football has gotten a lot better. A lot better off-season programs, a lot better coaches, and the player development has been unbelievable. I've been in East Tennessee basically my whole life, and you know that there'd be a year that in East Tennessee you might have one player going to a Power 5 school, and now you see 5, 6, 7, 8 each year signing with a Power 5 school and playing high-quality football. And the Middle Tennessee area has really exploded. There's a lot of colleges now that have just recruiters that go into the Murfreesboro and Nashville area, and that's one of their assignments. And then out west, you've got Memphis, who has always had great athletes and great football teams with a lot of players coming out of there. But I think that a lot of it has to do with, East Tennessee State started football back about 5-6 years ago, which was big for East Tennessee, being able to get more guys recruited to a local school. I thought that was big, and just the overall jump. We play. You mentioned these 2 teams. You know, Alcoa's won 8 straight state championships, and I think Maryville has been to this at least the state semifinals for the last 23 years, which is just unbelievable. And those 2 programs have really helped push East Tennessee, challenge coaches and players to get better, just to be able to compete with those 2 schools.
Yeah, and like I said, from what I've learned from the different coaches, there's a rivalry too within the state, right? That east, west, and central part of the state as well. Lamar Brown is on the line, the head coach at Knoxville's West High School, and he is the Tennessee Titans Coach of the Year. 6 years, a state championship this year, a 61-19 record there. You've also won 3 consecutive regional championships. scholarships, and you kind of touched on the kids a little bit there. And, these awards that get handed out this time of year, yeah, they have your name on it, but there's a lot of people that are associated with getting your name on that award, obviously. And we're going to talk about the players and the coaches. Let's start with the players themselves. Give us some of the names of the kids that really stood up for you, in a leadership role, whether it's this year or over the building of the program over the last several seasons that made this a special year. I guess there's some seniors that are smiling on going out on a high.
Yes, they are. We have a leadership committee, and about the middle of July every year we take them to a cabin in Gatlinburg, and one of the questions I asked this year is, who are the leaders? Who do you guys look up to? And there was two names that really jumped out from that meeting. One was Braden Latham. He was their starting tailback. He was a Mr. Football finalist in 5A in the state of Tennessee. And the best thing I can say about Braden is he is the best teammate I have ever coached. He's always cheering on his teammates. He has a passion for them, encouraging and loving on them every second of the day. And the other one was Brock Hatcher, who is more the vocal leader. Brock, he never runs out of energy. He's always screaming and yelling at practice and challenging players. And he played outside linebacker. He's always challenging the defense. Those two were really great for us. Carson Jesse was a 2-year starter for us at quarterback. He was the state championship game MVP. The way he handled the offense, he was a calming influence. He never got too high, too low, always encouraging, always putting the offensive lineman first. It was a fun group to watch. Jemias Mills was Defensive Player of the Year in our region, played nose man for us in the 3-4 defense. The energy and the passion that he brings to practice every day, he really loved to compete, and not just on Fridays. I went over and watched him practice in an all-star game here in Knoxville, and the coaches just kept talking about him. Hey, this dude really loves to compete. He never shuts up. He's really fun to be around, and I think all of that carried over to our team. Braden also has a twin brother on their team, Caden Latham, who was a starting wide receiver, defensive back for us. And I think having two twins that are that close on our team, I know a lot of people talk about football programs having a family atmosphere, but I think having those two brothers on the team, it really carried over to our team, that they saw the way they interacted, and everybody really just bought into it. And this was a group that really loved each other.
15-0 says it all. State champs in the state of Tennessee in Class 5A. Lamar Brown on the line with us right now. Knoxville West, number 93 in the High School Football America 300, powered by NFL Play Football. And Coach, let's flip it over to the coaches. As high school football has evolved through the decades, I'm old enough to say decades now at this point. It's no longer a 4 or 5 month a year sport. It's year round. You're the CEO of that team and all that, so you need some guys there to help you out and make sure that everything's being done the right way on the practice field and all that. So let's get to those guys that are winning a piece of this award. Give some of the key coaches on the staff, and you can get them all, because I don't want to get anybody mad at you.
I've got a great group of coaches. I would put my coaching staff up against any staff in America, and not necessarily X's and O's and all of that stuff, but the way they love kids is unbelievable. And West High School is the most diverse high school in Knox County, and we've got a diverse coaching staff that I don't want everybody to be like me. I want our kids to have a chance for somebody to reach them when they need help. And I think that the more diverse coaching staff you can get, the better that is. Baron Chandler is our defensive coordinator. He's been with me for close to 20 years now. He was with me at Marshtown West and came down here with me. He leads their defense, which gave up about 140 points this year. And on the defensive staff, you've got Jamie Holbrook. He's a young guy of the group, coaches outside linebackers. He heads up the weight room for the past couple of years, and he has been unbelievable there, and a big part of our success has come from his work he puts into the weight room. Morgan Shaver coaches their defensive line, and those guys, he's got some characters there, and he does a great job with those guys, giving them some tough love sometimes, and then hugging on them. And after practice, he's really fun to watch. DJ Roberts is a new coach at first year with us. He'd been in our school and had been an assistant coach in softball, and he coached at another school in the surrounding area. And he's the guy that actually played a couple years with the Ravens and graduated from Austin East High School here in Knoxville. And the way he handled the DBs this year, it was great to watch. That we set a school record with interceptions this year with 24, and just the way he communicated with those guys and the way those guys respected him as a first-year coach here with us was just unbelievable. On the offensive side of the ball, we've got Dustin Laws. He heads up our offense, coaches offensive line. Is just huge for us. The way he teaches the run game and the blocking has it's been a great transformation here in the past couple of years. When I first got here, everybody told me, "Oh, you're gonna have athletes, but you're not ever gonna have any offensive linemen." Well, we had about 8 offensive linemen play this year when the game was on the line, and they all played at a high level. Coach Brooks, a guy that played for me at Marshtown West, coaches our running backs. And, I've already said Braden Latham was a Mr. Football finalist for us at tailback. And just to watch him coach is fun. They're over there doing some drills sometimes, and I'm like, what in the world are they doing? And then, it's amazing. It's amazing that you put on the film and then you see the kids executing the cuts he's talking about and the jump cuts. And there's this one drill he does with they put a hand on the bag and they spin, and I'm like, what in the world? And I'd be danged if in the third round of the playoffs, if Braden did break a run and on about the 15-yard line on the sideline, a guy hit him low, and if he didn't put his hand on him and spin and stay in bounds, and I'm like, there's the drill. I mean, there's the drill I've made fun of all year. Nat Scott heads up our wide receivers, and he does a great job because a lot of those guys play DBs, and he only gets them half the time, and just to watch him put in the work with those guys and develop them the past few years, it's something to watch. But Rodney Ellaby coaches our tight ends, and they are instrumental in our run game and our passing game because we'll run first team and big play action team. We had a tight end, R.J. Brooks, this year that had 11 catches and 9 touchdowns. A smart coach would have gotten the ball a whole lot more, but it was one of the most unbelievable stats I've seen, and just the way he worked with those guys and getting them on a rotation so they stay fresh. But not only is this my coaching staff, it's also my best friends in the world. I spend more time with them than I do my own family during the fall, and they're a joy to be around every day. Them and these players have really influenced my life a lot and made me a better coach and a better person.
Well, like I said, your name's on the award, but there's a lot of people that go into building that. Lamar Brown on the line with us, Knoxville West state champs in 5A in the state of Tennessee, Coach of the Year for the Titans. Let's talk a little bit about that. Big day Sunday for you at Nissan Stadium there. The 10 winners plus you as the Coach of the Year. The 10 weekly winners were there. What was that like for you? That had to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a great day. Not only was I honored there as Coach of the Year, but my team also got to go because we was 5A state champions. It was fun having them there with me that day because, like you said, Jeff, this is a program honor. It starts with having great players and then a unbelievable coaching staff to help develop them and lead them. But to spend the day there, and the Titans did everything right. It was a great day. My wife really enjoyed it. She went with me, and just the way they treated us, had us breakfast ready, honored us at the end of the first quarter, and then honored the team at the first TV timeout of the second half. It was a great day for our whole One West family.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm probably remiss without. I was talking players, coaches. We got a coach's wife in there too. What does it mean to have the support of a good woman to win a state championship?
My wife's got a special place in heaven. She's put up with me for about 30 years now, and she knew that when she got into it, I was going to go into coaching, and she's here for everything we need. It is great to watch her just interact with our kids. She loves them, that they're part of our family. Everybody asks me, I only have one kid, and I have one daughter who's 24, and I always tell them that God knew I could only handle one with one girl with all these guys I'm having to keep up with, and my family's been unbelievable through this.
Like I said, everybody's got a piece of this award, no doubt about that, and you're very kind to get everybody's name in there. Lamar Brown is the Tennessee Titans Coach of the Year. A couple more questions for you, Coach. One being the Titans. They sponsor this award. They give back a lot to the high school community. You mentioned Braden Latham being one of the finalists for the Mr. Football Award. That's sponsored by the Titans. I think that's been for over a decade now. What does it mean to you and to the high school coaches across the state that the Titans are reaching down into the roots of the game?
Well, it's been great ever since the Titans moved here that they have supported, not only high school football, but they've also supported youth league, youth football, having camps and supporting those. They give out a high school coach of the week every week. They are highly involved in the community of Nashville and also the whole state of Tennessee. And like you said earlier, it's hard to do because the state is so spread out, but that they are active in every part of the state. And I think they are part of the success of high school football growing in the state of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. That all the effort and work and support that they have put into it has helped raise the bar in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I've gone 15, 17 minutes at this point, and I saved the best for last. You are the Titans NFL Coach of the Year. You're now a finalist for the John Shula Award that's given out at the Pro Bowl. What does it mean to you to win this award?
Well, I never thought I'd have my name mentioned with Don Shula. So that was a little bit eye-opening to me. It's a special honor, and like we've talked about, it's an honor for our whole football program, our whole community. I know there's been nobody prouder than Dr. Ashley Speece, our principal here at West High School that hired me 6 years ago. She's been unbelievable. Just gives unbelievable support throughout this whole the last 6 years and building this program back. And it means a lot for our community. This is a great community. They meet our every need. That there's nothing that we want that they don't try to get us. And the way they support our players it's really fun to sit back and watch one of the special things we do. Our moms service pregame meal every Friday, and to watch the moms interact with their sons on game day when we're about to go play a big game or about to go play in the state championship game. I have a hard time leaving that pregame meal and not be emotional. Just sitting back and watching that. It's a great community, and they are very deserving of this.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the award itself. Congratulations on an outstanding season. Congratulations to the community, all the ones you touched upon there, and most importantly to me, because I've been doing this for 40 years and get to meet a lot of coaches along the way, is I'd like to thank everyone like yourself that takes the time out of their life to give back to student athletes. So congrats on the award, and thank you for doing what you do, and thanks for taking the time with us.
Well, thank you again for having me on, Jeff.
That's the NFL Play Football Podcast. Coaches, don't forget to check out playfootball.nfl.com for some great resources to help you improve in the coaching profession. I'm Jeff Fisher of High School Football America, and you've been listening to the NFL Play Football Podcast.